Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the brothers Zabak coming through to the spirit of YAHAWASHI to produce another lesson. Hopefully, this will be edifying. And I'd like to start off the video by saying, by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to my teachers, the elders, the apostles, and bishop of GMS, Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Salutation to the hopeful house of Israel, to the hopeful elect of the house of Israel, pushing forth the word, whether people hear or forbear, and who are trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their abilities. So just a quick, side note, I'm kind of feeling a little off today, you know. So I think it's not COVID. No, don't worry. It's not the COVID-17. You know, it's not that. I just have trouble catching my breath, but through the Spirit, I'll just try to bring forth this little lesson, and Lord willing, this will be edifying. All right. I'd like to start off with Proverbs 30:7, and it reads, "Two things have I required thee; deny me them not, before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies." So anything that is adverse to the scriptures, anything that is adverse for keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and fearing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. "Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain." Okay? That's just to say, you have to, there's such a thing as a perfect balance. You can't have too much of a thing or too less of a thing. We're basically begging for the Lord to keep us to keep us stable. It tells us that it tells us, let me bring this out. Bear with me, Israel. It says here in 1 Timothy 2 and 1, "I exhort therefore, first of all, supplication, prayer, and intercession, and giving thanks to be made for all men, for kings, and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and honesty." This is what we're seeking to do, man. To be honest, a quiet and peaceful life is of the Lord, man. This is a blessing to have a quiet and peaceful life. This is ultimately what we want. We don't want riches. We don't want fame. We don't want authority. We don't want. All we want is a quiet and peaceable life. Because back in think about Jacob. Jacob was a plain man, living and dwelling in tents. He was a farmer. He was taking care of his sheep. He was taking care of his cattle. He was taking care of his land, growing up crop. That was his life. Simple, basic, but he was happy. And this is what we want. We're simple people at the end of the day. It tells us that the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them. The devil pushes so much fleshly things. He pushes a mindset of fulfilling your lust. Fulfill the lust of your flesh daily. He bombards us in this world, man, by propaganda, the TV, social media, and their phones. Everyone has a phone nowadays, even in the country. You go back to Africa, in the country, you go back to the islands where Levi, Benjamin, and the others are. Nowadays it's strange if someone doesn't have a phone, man. And those phones, it's Esau's way to get in our head, to push for wickedness, man. You see? As it says but the fact that we use this, there's the men of the Lord, we use our devices to push forth the light on the YouTube, you see, on those live streams, on those channels, we're using our devices to push forth this word, man. You see, the men of the Lord are flooding the internet with righteousness, with the light of the gospel. But Esau, on the left hand, he's pushing for darkness, and he wants to keep everyone in this darkness. Right? It says in Philippians 4:11, "Not that I speak in respect of want, For I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. In whatsoever state that I am, therewith to be happy. Because we know that anything comes from the Lord. If the Lord puts you in a high position, good. If the Lord puts you in a low position, good. Whatever is brought upon you, take on cheerfully. Whether it's good or bad, you thank the Lord. You don't know if He's punishing you for a mistake you've done in your past life, right? The Lord is not unrighteous. The Lord is just and righteous in His judgment, right? So that's what the fear of the Lord comes in play, man. Because the fear of the Lord, that the fact that you're suffering for something that you might have done in your past life, that's out there, man. That's why we have to ask for mercy. And again, we understand that everything comes from the Most High, all right? But again, it says, whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content, right? Whatever state you're with, it's not that we want more. It tells us that that riches take away sleep. Why is that? Because a rich man only seeks to get richer. You see? In this world, this is what it is, man. You get a bag. There was a movie, The Wrath of Man. The Wrath of Men. There was a bunch of military dudes who ended up robbing banks. Who ended up robbing the trucks that were moving the bank's money. At the end of the day, when they were moving the bank's money, so when they had an inside man that helped them, hit the trucks. So they hit one truck. They at that point they were good. They were set. But no, the want for more riches drove them to do another robbery and another robbery and another robbery, to the point that at the end they ended up dying. Sorry if that was a spoiler, but that's the greed. That's the want for riches, and that's ultimately what Esau pushes. More, fill, satisfy my lust, even more, whatever it is, whether it's money, whether it's women, whether it's food, whether it's your job, whatever it is that pushes you further away from Yahawah, from this light, from this truth. All right, but it tells us, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to be abound. Everywhere and in all things, I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to be abound and to suffer need. You have to put in mind, remember Job. Remember Job, how at one point he was one of the richest men in the place. You see, one of the richest men, to losing his family members, losing his children, and losing his cattle, losing his riches. He was hit with the plague, so he was sick from the head to toe. You see, but what did he do? He didn't curse the Lord. He kept his integrity, and at the end of the day, the Lord gave him back the increase, twice more. That's to say, He gave him back everything twofold. You see, I can do all things through YAHAWASHI, which strengthens me. So it's YAHAWASHI that gives us the power to keep moving, It tells us in Matthew 10 and 30, he that loveth father or mother or more, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Okay? So taking the cross and following YAHAWASHI, that goes into discipline. Okay? And to be a follower of YAHAWASHI is to love discipline. Alright? That's basically what it is, man. Because you cannot be a weird? You cannot be a disciple without loving discipline, man. That's because the word disciple comes from the word discipline. You see? You see? And it says here in verse 39, he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. And that's in a sense twofold. In one sense, it says he that findeth his life shall lose it. So if you find your life in this world, okay, if you find your life in this world, if you become a well-known lawyer, or you become a well-known doctor, or let's say Michael Jackson has his purpose, but in the kingdom of Yahawah, is he going to be remembered for righteousness, or even all these actors, or these the Denzel Washington, is he gonna be remembered for righteousness? All these sellouts that are well known in the world, are they gonna be remembered in the kingdom for righteousness? No, because they committed wickedness. They chose this world. They found this life. They found their life in this world. All right, but it keeps going. It keeps going, and it reads, "And he that loses his life for my sake shall find it." They that lose their life, those that give up this world to follow YAHAWASHI. That's what it means to pick up that cross and to follow Him. That's what it means to be worthy. That's what it means to seek after discipline, to follow YAHAWASHI. Okay? Because you decided to forsake the world, forsake yourself. You hated your own life. Okay? You hated your own life, so you abased yourself. You see? You humbled your own self. You know? You abased yourself so that you may please Yahweh, that you can serve Him. You see? That's basically that, and that's basically the second meaning. Is when it says, "He that loses his life, he that findeth his life shall lose it." So ultimately, when we find yourself in YAHAWASHI, that only means to lose your life. You know? So technically, when you find YAHAWASHI, you're supposed to lose your life, because before you found YAHAWASHI, you were in the world. That's what it means. Be not conformed to the world, but be it transformed. That transformation is you rejecting the way of this world. It's you vomiting the Babylonian mix, that Babylonian juice. You're vomiting it, you know, and you're sobering up. You see what you see? It says here, "He that receiveth me, receiveth. He that receiveth you, receiveth me. And he that receiveth me, receiveth him that sent me." Okay? So anyone that's preaching this word in truth and sincerity, if you receive that person, it's as if you're receiving YAHAWASHI. As you have done unto these people, so have you done unto me. You see? So there's a precept I wanted to bring out. Hebrews 11, pertaining to discipline. Bear with me, Israel. It says here, Hebrews 11 and 23, "By faith, Moses, when he was born," so like at 24, "By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season." Okay? Than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. When you find yourself in the world, that's exactly what you're doing. You're enjoying the pleasures of sin for a season. Because when you die, you're going to receive judgment with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? You're not going to receive a reward. Your reward is going to be death and judgment. Alright? Okay? Let me read that again from 24. Hebrews 11 and 24. And it says, "By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter." He refused. He rejected the world. He rejected the way of the Babylonian Jews. If you put it in the context of nowadays, he refused to take the chip. He refused to take the pharmakia potion. Okay, the you know what, he refused to take it. Okay, it says here, "Esteeming the reproach," verse 25, "choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season." What does that mean? That's him picking up his cross and following Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Doesn't it say by faith? Moses did by faith. You see, and faith is a gift of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. You see, the Lord gave it unto Moses unto Moses the Spirit to reject the world. You see, as we are, as the men of the Lord, as the 144,000, the hopeful elect, the elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, or have the Spirit to reject the world and to follow Him even unto death, right? That they may obtain a reward from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? It says, "Esteeming the reproach of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai greater riches than the treasures of Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward." Salakia. You see? So it's the mindset. That's why you know that everything starts in the mind. After hearing this truth, you have to acknowledge that the world has nothing to offer but death and destruction. Right? The world has nothing else to offer you but death and destruction. You want to go clubbing? You have to take the. You want to go to restaurants? You have to take the. You want to go watch a movie? You have to take it. Whatever to partake in this society, you have to take this. And at the end of the day, and that's just a precursor to taking the RFI Dizzle. If you know what I mean, the RFID Dizzle, the mark of of the beast, right? The MOB. You see, you have to go mob for this guy, man. You see. So we understand that our mindset through YAHAWASHI Yahawashi, our eyes have been open to understand that because we know that the devil Isa Edom, because we know that also the devil has a physical counterpart, which is Isa Edom, who does its bidding. Okay, so Isa Edom, the devil that he is, works with gradualism. Okay, he's not gonna give you the end result right now in your face. He's gonna slowly build you up to get to his desired desired product, which is the mark of the beast. Okay, but the same way YAHAWASHI Yahawashi works in the same progress. Okay, because the destruction of Isa Edom, it's a buildup. The destruction of this wicked kingdom is going to be a buildup. All right. Okay. It says here in John 12 and 42, nevertheless, the chief rulers also many believed on him. Salakia. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. For they loved the praises of men more than the praises of the Most High. And Yahawashi cried and said, he that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. Okay? So they were ashamed. It says, they that are ashamed of me, they that are ashamed of me, of them will I be ashamed when I come back. Roughly paraphrasing. Alright? If you're ashamed of YAHAWASHI Yahawashi, he also will be ashamed of you. And he's not going to deliver you in the time of destruction. Alright? But that's them ultimately. Rather than to reading back to Hebrews 11, rather than choosing to suffer the affliction with the people of the Most High, than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. So the Pharisees, when they saw the chief rulers, when they saw Yahawashi, which believed on him, rather than to prophesy, than to confess that Yahawashi is the son of Yahweh, that he's the son of the Most High, rather than to confess, they kept their mouth shut because they like the praises of men rather than the praises of YAHAWASHI Yahawashi. See, they rather get the praises from men rather than to do the work of YAHAWASHI Yahawashi. You're not gonna see the Pope in the highways and byways. You're not gonna see the Pope in the highways and byways. You're not gonna see even the leader of IUIC. This guy doesn't go in the highways and byways. He sends his underlings. This guy's never in the highways and byways. The TD snakes and creepy dollar, crypto dollar. They don't go in the highways and byways preaching this word. But who do you see? The elders and apostles and bishop of JMS, of Great Millstone, they're out there. Same as every man that are in JMS, they're out there pushing for the word. Because we're not ashamed of our Messiah. We're not ashamed of Hamashiach. Right? We're not ashamed of this gospel. Right? Because this is our way, this is our life. Even unto death, man. Because we know that this is the truth. We're not ashamed of the truth, man. You see? Because it says, Yahawashi cried out and said, he that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. So the fact that we're out there pushing the word, doing the truth, doing the work in truth and sincerity, it's only because we believe in YAHAWASHI Yahawashi. Because we're doing the work, right? It says here, Luke 20 and 46, beware of the scribes, which desire to walk in long robes and love greeting in markets, and the high seats in the synagogue, and the chief rooms at the feasts, which devours widows' houses, and for shew make long prayer, the same shall receive greater condemnation. So the same people that seek seek the pleasures of sin for a season are to be destroyed, man. They're going to receive a greater condemnation, a greater damnation, because they have rejected the Lamb. They have rejected YAHAWASHI as their Lord and Savior. Right? It says here in 1 John 2 and 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Okay? Let me read that. Luke 20 and 46. Beware of the scribes which desire to walk in long robes and love greetings in the market and the highest seats in the synagogue and the chief rooms at the feast. Those are flaunters. They like to flex. They like to brag. They like to show what they have. But that's the same spirit that we have today with Jake, man. Yo, look at my ride. Look at my fast car. Look at my. You see, look at the woman that I'm able to grab. Look at my bag. Look at my finance. Look at my this. Look at my that. You know. But it tells us, if let not the rich man glory in his riches, let not the mighty glory in his might. If one glory in this, that he knows YAHAWASHI, right? That he is, and we glory in the fact that we know that he is, man. That we know that YAHAWASHI is the one that is in control of everything, the good and the bad, right? Because now we're getting reconnected to our source. We're getting right back to our right mind. We're getting sobered up. We're getting washed by the fire. We're getting washed by the fire, which is the word, right? And we're getting back to our Father, man. And Lord willing, we'll be a part of the number that gets delivered, all right? And that obtains salvation, okay? That's ultimately what we want, man. Okay? So I read that 1 John 2 and 15 again. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And that's how you can see, man, through the Spirit. We say that the word is a discerner of spirit, right? Cutting even asunder the flesh and the spirit. Man, I'm gonna have to get that, man. It's in Hebrews as well. Covenant. It's in Hebrews 6. No, Salaki. It says here, Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and to joint and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. We can tell that people have demons, man. We can tell that the people have demons just because the way that they love the world. It tells us, man. It tells us in 1 John, I believe. 1 John, or no. It tells us in 1 John, 1 John 4 and 5, they are of the world, therefore they speak of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High heareth us. He that is not of the Most High heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. So that's what it is. Because same as when the Lord says, I would rather you be hot or cold or warm. If you're lukewarm, I'll spew you out of my mouth. That's the same thing, because there's two. It's either you're in the spirit of truth, or it's either you're moving in the spirit of truth, or you're moving in the spirit of error. Okay? And the spirit of truth brings you unto life, and the spirit of error brings you unto death. That's the same thing as the straight gate and the narrow gate. The straight gate and the broad gate. All right? The spirit of truth is a gate that is straight, that few men enter in. Okay, the few men find and enter in, and the spirit of error is the broad gate that many find, and many are destroyed going that way, man. You see? It tells you, man, they that don't hear us, they that don't hear this gospel, is because they're in the world. They love the world, and since they love the world, the love of the Father is not in them. They found their life in this world. Rather, us, we've lost our life for the name of YAHAWASHI. Alright? Now I know I'm ranting, but this is what it is, man. This is the truth, man. This is spirit. You know? And I'll finish up with this. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 12. Wisdom is glorious and never faded away. Yeah, she is easily seen of them that love her. That love who? Love wisdom. If you love wisdom, you do not love the world. Okay? And found of such as seek her. Okay? Seek the Lord now. Call upon the Lord while he may be found. Seek the Lord while he may be found. All right? And we're seeking him now. All right? These people in the world, man, they're in the house of mirth. They're not worried about what's gonna happen tomorrow, man. They're not worried about the destruction of Babylon. Right? They're not worried about the plagues and the pestilence and famine coming, man. They're not worried about that. That's why it tells us that the day of the Lord is gonna come in as a thief in the night. Right? Because that's gonna hit them by surprise. And a surprise knockout combo, man. Especially the wicked, because it's gonna get them as they're about to fill their belly. As they're about to fill their belly, meaning that they in their mind they thought they're already gonna accomplish their plans, man. Just when they think that their plan is about to get completed, almost at 100%, the Lord is gonna come and knock him out while he is eating, man. Okay. See? So basically, wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yet she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. Okay? If you do not seek the Lord, you're not gonna find it. When you love the world, you're not gonna seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because you receive your recompense. See? The same way, let's put it in perspective as someone that gives. Let's say you got two men. One guy gives a donation to the homeless, and no one sees it. It's just him and the homeless, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that sees him, giving him a donation, giving him a meal. And then you got this YouTuber with 1 million followers who goes out and puts on films, makes a big scene of him giving out a meal to homeless people. Oh yeah, I'm such a good guy. Look at what I'm doing. Oh, because I was going around asking for people for change. You know, I was asking people for change, but since I see you're homeless, I'm gonna give you $100. You know, but no, man, these people are through, man. They're spirit of the world. They're not doing that because, you know, as it says, the wicked, when they do good, they do it unwillingly. They don't really want to help the homeless. They just want to do it for the views, you know, to boost up their ratings, to get more likes, to be seen as a good people. But they're not good people. Matter of fact, they're bad people, man. You see, you shouldn't be trusting those people, because the only reason that he helped that man is to use them at the end of the day. You know, he used it for his own gains. He doesn't care to help that homeless person. Rather than the first man, when he gave either money or food or whatever, he helped that homeless man. But the only person that knows that is the homeless man, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will recompense him openly. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will openly reward that man. But the other man that has 1 million followers and filmed the whole thing, he has his compensation, the like buttons and the views that he has, and the upcoming destruction that's gonna happen unto him, because he doesn't fear the Most High, man. You know. And to keep going, it says, "Whoso seeketh her early shall have no Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 14. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his door. For the very true, verse 17, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love." Okay? The care of discipline is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's how you take care of discipline. Okay? And the discipline is really fearing Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You see? But the desire of discipline is you desire to fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? And how do you take care of that desire? Is by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. As it says in Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. Okay? That's basically it, man. You know, to follow Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you have to be desirous of discipline. Okay? You cannot walk this walk without discipline, man. You cannot be a disciple without discipline. And that's what I wanted to push, man. This is the message that I wanted to bring forth today, man. All right. So especially in these times, man, we're gonna see, man, who's really about that fire, man. Who's really on fire, and who's not, man. You see, who's really disciplined enough to keep walking this walk when we get closer and closer until the finish line, man. All right. Who's gonna endure until the end? That's the real question. Those that finish this walk, those are the ones that are gonna receive the reward, man. All right. That being said, I like to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elders and apostles of GMS, teaching and ruling well. Salutation to the hopeful salutation to the hopeful elect of the house of Israel, pushing forward the word whether people hear or forbear, and are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their abilities. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Discipline. Kwam Yasha'Allah, DTA Abababal, Kwam Yasha'Allah. Shalom. Until next lesson. Shalom.